Hello and welcome to this episode of The Mentor. My name is John Abraham Godson, and it is my pleasure to come your way today. Today, we want to be looking at the secret of unending fruitfulness. The secret of unending fruitfulness, and I'll be reading from 2 Kings chapter 4 from verse 1 to verse 6. And it says, "Now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, Thy servant, my husband, is dead, and thou knowest that thy servant did fear the Lord. And the creditor is come to take unto him my two sons to be bondmen. And Elisha said unto her, What shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she said, Thine handmaid hath not anything in the house, save a pot of oil. Then he said, Go, borrow thee vessels abroad of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few. And when thou art come into thy house, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and upon thy sons, and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full. So she went from him and shut the door, and upon her sons, and sons who brought the vessels to her, and she poured out. And it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto her sons, Bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, There is not a vessel more. The oil stayed. The oil stayed. This is a very prophetic, very deep and prophetic passage. And today we are talking about the secret of unending fruitfulness. When we were growing up, and as a farmer, we had local chickens. And one thing I observed and learned about local chickens is that they lay eggs, and after a while, when the eggs has reached a particular number of eggs, say 10, 12, they will stop laying eggs. And now they will start brooding over the eggs. But the other thing I also observed is that if you take away those eggs every day, they will keep laying eggs. They will keep laying. Now, this is very similar to this passage. We're talking about the secret of unending fruitfulness. And let me say this. From this passage that we read, we find out that Elisha told the woman, Go, borrow empty vessels, not a few. Okay, and the Bible also says that when she entered and continued pouring, as soon as all the empty vessels were filled, the oil stayed. The oil stopped pouring. I want to tell you that the extent of your emptiness, the extent and the capacity of your emptiness will determine the amount that will be poured into you. Let me say that again in a different way. What determines your endless fruitfulness is your ability to always be hungry and be empty. I want to encourage you that the secret of unending fruitfulness is unending emptiness, unending hunger. God will not put in you more than you are able to carry. The capacity of your emptiness, the capacity of your hunger is what determines how much that will be poured into you. I want to encourage you to yearn for more, to hunger for more. And Paul even said in Philippians chapter 3 verse 13, he said, I forget the things that are behind, pressing forward to the things that are in front. That is the secret to unending fruitfulness. Now, there are dangers to when you think you have arrived. There are dangers to when you are full. The first danger is that you stop growing. The first danger is that you stop growing. When you have arrived, like the Bible said, when the lady asked for an empty vessel and the son said, there is no more empty vessel, what happened? The oil stayed. The oil stopped flowing. You stop growing. The second danger is that you begin to grow stale. You begin to grow stale. You are no longer fresh. You are only full of yesteryear achievements. You're only full of the things you have achieved in your life. Nothing new is happening. The second danger is that you become irrelevant, because what you had yesterday was good for yesterday, but you need something that will be good for today. The fourth danger is that you become arrogant. You feel you have arrived. You feel that you know everything. You no longer need help. You no longer need to be Elena. What are the benefits of remaining hungry, of being empty? The first one is that you're always growing and, what's the word now? Reimagine. You are always growing. People would classify you like this yesterday, and they come today, you are at a different place. You are always growing. Number two, you are always relevant. You are always relevant and needed in the context and in the society where you are. Number three, you are always fresh. You are always fresh. You're not stale. Number four, you are always at the cutting edge of your industry. Okay? You have not stopped. Some people are still using typewriter. But we are talking about artificial intelligence. Okay? So you are always at the cutting edge of your industry. And another benefit is that you are always humble. Elena is always a humble person, because it takes humility to want to learn. It takes humility to want to learn. And then number six, you would always be fruitful. Like that chicken that you always take away its egg. It always produces more. And that is the secret of unending fruitfulness. Right? And then finally, you're always youthful at heart. People who are hungry and people who are empty, they're always youthful at heart. They're always renewing their wings like eagles, like the Bible said. I want to encourage you today. God wants you to be fruitful, unendingly fruitful. God wants you to be like that tree that is planted by the rivers that always bring forth fruit. Not a tree that brought forth fruit yesterday, but one that is still relevant and bringing forth fruit. And the secret to unending fruitfulness is hunger for more, reverent discontent. Be grateful to God for what He has done for you, but don't build your tent. Don't relax. Don't think you have arrived. A hunger for more. Reach out for more. Press forward for more. See you at the top. God bless you. Bye-bye.